Good day. So today we'll be looking at questions on nucleic acid and nucleoproteins. So we'll be looking at different questions. So here, the first question is, the proteins are wrapped around the DNA molecules in such a way that the positively charged amino acids form salt linkages with the phosphate of the nucleic acid. True or false? Of course, the answer is true because we know that the DNA is polyanionic and it is highly negatively charged. So for it to wrap or wounded around the protein, it must be in direct contact with the positively charged amino acids such as lysine, arginine, and histidine. So when these three amino acids are present in the protein, they form sulfur, they form the salt linkages with the phosphate group in nucleic acids. So how many hydrogen bonds are between C and G? C is cytosine, while G is guanine. So the hydrogen bond between them is 3. So the answer to that question is B. The third question here we have is, okay, how many bonds, hydrogen bonds are between adenine and thymine? So the answer to that question is 2. Okay. So we have this one, question number 4. So lead acetate test is used for the detection of cysteine because of the sulfur containing amino acid. So it will react with the lead acetate. Number 5, proteins covalently linked with DNA are collectively known as nucleoproteins. So we'll talk about this. So that's when we say a combination of proteins and DNAs, or in this case we actually say DNA, but we can actually use the word a nucleotide. So we can refer to it as a nucleoprotein, which is a combination of both proteins and nucleic acids that are covalently linked to each other. So the answer is true. So okay, there are 4 levels of protein structure. Of course, the answer is true to that question. So the 4 levels include the primary structure, the secondary structure, the tertiary structure, and the quaternary structure. So these are the 4 levels of protein structure. So alpha helix and beta sheet are 2 examples of secondary structure. The answer is true. So in secondary structure, we have the alpha helical structure and the beta pleated sheet. So here we have question number 8. The linear sequence of amino acid is known as the primary structure. That's true. Primary structure, the linear sequence of amino acid. So now here we have the question number 9. Hydrophilic amino acids are usually located at the exterior of the protein. So when we talk about exterior of the protein, we talk about the portion of the protein that is interacting with the water, that can interact with water. So they are usually hydrophilic amino acid. Hydrophobic amino acid will be within the interior of the protein. So the answer to the question is true. Question number 10. The DNA is a polymer of deoxyribonucleoside monophosphate, covalently linked to a phosphodiester bond. That answer is true. So the mononucleotides are actually linked by the phosphodiester bond in the 5' to 3' direction. Question number 11. Proteins are polymers of amino acids joined by peptide bonds. Of course, we know the answer is true. The answer to that question is true. Number 12. Denaturation occurs when there is a partial total loss or alteration of the native structure. The answer is true. So denaturation is when the protein have lost its own native state. It's no longer in the active state where it is capable of performing biological activities. Question number 13. Amino acids differ only in their arrow groups. Well, we should have structured this question very well with respect to alpha amino, alpha amino acids, but it's also still correct. So amino acids have three basic functional groups that are present in all the amino acid: the amino group, the carboxylic group, and the hydrogen. So the remaining other group is what differentiates them. So you can have lysine, arginine, histidine, threonine, and the rest. Now, phosphorylation usually occurs at the serine threonine residue of the protein. But also, this question can actually be included with thyroxine, serine, threonine, and thyroxine. So that is where phosphorylation occurs. So if there is a protein kinase, I want to phosphorylate the protein, the phosphorylation usually takes place at the serine, threonine, and thyroxine. The reason is because these three major amino acids contains hydroxy group. That is the reason for the phosphorylation. They contain hydroxy group. So the hydroxy group can react with the phosphate group to form esters. So the answer to that answer is serine, threonine, and thyroxine. So sometimes they might ask you phosphorylation usually occurs at which they will give you serine as an option, threonine as an option, thyroxine as an option. So in that case, the three of them is correct. The three of them is correct. But usually, it is usually is predominantly at the thyroxine residue because we have the serine kinases, we have the threonine kinases, we have the thyroxine kinases. So the three answers are correct: either serine, threonine, or thyroxine. So the three answers are correct. So if you see the three answers in your listing, you can as well choose the three answers, or you choose only thyroxine, which is the predominant one. So the answer to that question is true. Hemoglobin is a homo-oligomer protein. Homo-oligomer, when you talk about the different monomers, if they are the same, because we know that the hemoglobin has alpha subunit and the beta subunit. So the alpha subunit is the polypeptide chain in the alpha subunit is different from the polypeptide chain in the beta subunit. So we cannot refer them as homo-oligomer. So they are called hetero-oligomer because they have both alpha and beta subunits. So the answer to that question is false. So list the types of force stabilizing the protein structure. We have the hydrogen bonding, the van der Waals force, electrostatic interaction, hydrophobicity. So don't forget to click the subscription button. Also click the notification bell for more videos on question and answers on nucleic acids and nucleoproteins, even with respect to amino acids and the rest. So our next videos will publish in 2 days time. So make sure you click the notification button so that whenever we publish the video, you get access or you get a notification to the published video. Thank you very much.